I love the wintertime. To me, it's the best season out of all of them. There's something about the cool weather that makes everything feel way better. And I love the nighttime too. Looking up at the stars on a clear and cold night, there's nothing quite like it. But on a particular night during the winter of 2019, in the middle of February, during one of my jogs on a boulevard in the suburbs not too far away from where I live, my eyes would open up to a world I never thought existed. I live in a household that's mostly atheist, with my brothers and dad being the biggest skeptics. My mom, on the other hand, is spiritual. She believes in meditation, healing crystals, grounding herself to the earth and opening up her chakras. I believe whatever you give in life you receive back. Like karma, for example. I believe when you make certain choices, those choices will either bring forth positivity and goodness, or consequences and repercussions. But never, not in 100 years, would I have ever imagined coming across what I ran into on this night. It doesn't have anything to do with karma, spirituality, or any kind of religious belief. The world that we live in, I don't think we as humans understand, or even have the ability to think that ghosts really exist. But let me tell you, they do. And I became well informed of just how alarming going out for a jog alone at night can really be. Every night like clockwork, minus the weekends, I would begin my nightly jog at 7 p.m. and jog for at least 3 to 4 miles from home and back. I always begin at the front of my gate after giving my limbs a good stretch. I normally take the same route when I go jogging, but tonight I wanted a change of scenery. About 1.5 miles away from where I live, there's a 5-mile hiking and walking trail with a beautiful lake and scenic view. It's a 10 to 15 minute walk from where I live. I jogged there and got to the trail in 5, and stretched once more so my legs wouldn't cramp up. I planned on jogging the entire 5 miles. About 100 feet down from the walking and jogging path, the area comes to a split. On the right side, there's a path that leads to the hiking trails, and it includes an access to walk uphill. Once you reach the top, the hiking trail begins, and there's a beautiful view of the entire lake and the surrounding woods. As I'm jogging, not too far where the split begins, I heard a deep male voice ahead of me and said out loud,
"Where are you going?"
My heart skipped a beat and I stopped dead in my tracks. There's lights along each side of the jogging path that gives you a clear view of everything around you, but there was no one in front of me. Maybe I'm hearing things. I was all alone out there. Even though the area is serene and peaceful, looks can always be deceiving. It's better to be safe than sorry, I thought, so I turned around and left. But as I'm about to reach the entry, there was a man standing directly in front of it. Like he just magically appeared. He was at least 30 to 40 feet away, so I felt safe enough to stop and ask him if everything was alright. But he didn't respond back. I do love the cold, but the chills crept through me like a vortex of wind through the pit of my stomach. I said, "This isn't funny. Can you please step aside so I can leave, sir?" Nothing, not so much as a twitch. I was not prepared for what came next, because he let out this huge, wailing, mental scream and started running for me. At first, I didn't know which way to go or what to even do. I've never been in a predicament like this. And the more I thought about which way to run, the closer he was getting. And the closer he got, the louder he would scream. I finally turned around and ran like I was doing a 100-yard dash and ran up the hiking trail and hid behind the first tree that I saw. I heard him screaming while running up the access slope and watched as he ran right past me. But something was very off about the way he was running. He didn't look like he was running at all, but floating across the ground. The first chance I got, I took off running like a bat out of hell down the hiking trail access. Every single light along the walking path started flickering on and off, and just as I'm about to make a break for it and leave the trail, I heard the same man's voice say again,
Where are you going?
like the voice was traveling along with the cold wind behind me as I ran. I didn't even bother to turn and look. I just ran all the way home without stopping. My heart was beating and thumping 1,000 miles an hour, and I thought I was going to throw up. I laid on the ground in front of my gate and just looked at the stars to try and calm myself. I could feel every tingling and restless sensation on my legs and arms. The condensation exhaled from my mouth as I tried catching my breath. What the hell did I just encounter on that trail? The way he hovered and floated across the ground. It looked so unnatural. Since then, I've kept to my normal route and have changed my jogging schedule closer to daylight hours, but I still do enjoy the nighttime. I asked my dad and siblings if they thought it was an angry spirit of some kind, but it was pointless asking them. They don't believe in anything, even if they were to see it with their own eyes. They'd say there had to be a logical explanation behind it. My mom, however, said it may have been so. But was this man really a ghost? Even though I did see, well, it did look like he had legs just before he started running and screaming. But when I was behind that tree, even with all the adrenaline burning through me and my heart fluttering, I do remember seeing what looked like a torso and broad shoulders of a man, like he was rollerblading along the pavement, like he had wheels attached to his feet. Something tells me that the area must be disturbed with negative energy. My mom even agreed with me. Creepy voices riding with the air that we breathe, and a man screaming at the top of his lungs is not normal. I know what I saw that night, and what I saw was the ghost of an angry man chasing down the demons of his previous life. And whatever lies beyond life, whatever journey is waiting for us after we become dust and bones, I hope that it's not being stuck here. That would kind of suck. Being trapped here and wandering around, it's definitely given me a lot to think about.